Hey team, Chef Eric here, hope you're well. Today we've got a really fun recipe for you. Our good friends at Cheshire Pork have given us this beautiful bone-on pork loin. So we're gonna do a cranberry cider glazed pork loin. Let's get into the action. So we've just finished up another cook. Let's go ahead and talk about adding charcoal to an existing fire. So we've got some hot coals here, but we wanna bulk it up a little bit. We're going to make sure that we've got the draft door on the bottom fully open, and that's going to give us maximum airflow. And we're going to use the Kamado ash tool to kind of just rake everything together. Now when I'm doing this, I'm really making sure that I'm leaving some of these air holes down here so that I've got maximum airflow, and that's going to get everybody incorporated much quicker. And it really helps, I think, too, to kind of stack it up, because all that fire, all that heat wants to do is rise. So if you can imagine we spread it out nice and evenly, it's going to take a long time for everything to get activated like we want it to. So let's bank it up towards the back and let that heat climb and get everybody activated. In about 5 minutes, we're going to have a temperature of about 500 degrees. So we need to jump in on this bone-on pork loin. I'm not going to trim off all this fat. I know there's some elastin underneath this, but this Cheshire pork, this is a heritage style breed, so it works really hard to get that intermuscular fat as well as this fat cap, and I'd hate to get rid of that. That is a lot of flavor. So in order to tenderize it a little bit, I'm just going to run our knife across to make sure that that seasoning and smoke are getting through. And I'm going to put one line here at the top of the loin, just so it starts pulling back where those ribs are. And we'll do something really cool with these ribs afterwards. We're going to be using Spellbound by our good friends at Lane's Barbecue. This is a lot of fun, but watch out, it'll put a spell on you. Thanks, Ryan. So being from North Carolina, I like my sweet on my pork for sure. The first ingredient in this is white sugar, and then brown sugar, and then salt, pepper. So those are the first 4 ingredients. Being that it says sugar first, we know we're going to get an amazing bark, but we want to lower our grill temperature a little bit more than going an aggressive 500 or 400 for the entire cook, because it's going to over caramelize, aka burn. Okay, so in order to tap into this Spellbound, we're going to sit today at a really nice temperature of 350 degrees after our sear. All right, so let's go ahead and drop our grill grate to the lowest section of the divide and conquer system. We're just going to lay that right on top. Presentation side down. We want all that meat to suck up the energy on those grill grates and give us the beautiful presentation that we want, and then we can flip it over and use that residual heat in the tines for that backside. It's all going to look gorgeous, but always take care of your presentation side first. Now we're going to roll with a little technique I like to call dry basting. Once we get a good season on a piece of meat and then sear it, we can go on with another layer of that seasoning and sear it again, creating those layers of complexity that when somebody bites into it, they're just like, what was that? What just happened? So we got a rip-roaring fire going on. It's a little aggressive. No worries. We're going to use the residual heat of those coals and the residual heat in the ceramic to finish this cook. We're done. All right. I'm going to shut this draft door. I'm going to flip this beautiful roast. Give it one more boost, putting the larger eye here closer to the main heat. So now you're going to notice when I shut this dome, I'm going to close the draft door first, I'm going to close the dome, and I'm going to close the control tower, and you'll hear all of the oxygen just Did you hear it? I heard it. That's really cool. Now, one thing to note, we have a really, really hot fire in there. You don't want to open this baby up because you're going to have a backdraft, okay? So we're going to make sure that we don't open this. We're going to look back in 45 minutes and see where we're at. Super pumped. Let's check out and see how we've done. Oh, man. Stop it. Float the thermometer. All right, we're sitting at an internal temperature right now of 130, okay? That's a beautiful thing. That means we're in about the last 15 minutes of this cook. So let's go ahead and start thinking about the finishing glaze. We talked earlier about the cranberry cider. I'm excited about that. We're gonna bolster it up with a little agave nectar, and a little balsamic and some fresh garlic. So just as easy as, let's mince this up a little bit. Why not? You know, we'll get a little more garlic flavor from creating more surface area by mincing it. Not too small because we don't want it to burn on us. Does that make sense? You could use actual cranberries. You know, you could make your cranberry sauce. It's as easy as like 3 cups of cranberries, a cup of sugar, and a cup of water. Bring it to a simmer for 10 minutes or bring it to a boil and then simmer it for 10 minutes and mash it up. You can imagine how nice a cranberry roasted pork loin would be. For me, I've just been into ciders. I saw this cranberry cider, super excited to try it. Notice we're already coming to a slight simmer here. And I'm gonna even push it further back over the, well, I don't want to get into the shade. I'll lose you guys.
I appreciate that.
Yay, my pleasure, my pleasure. So now let's go in with a little bit of our agave. I also want to knock in a little bit of balsamic vinegar. And this is really going to help us out throughout the reduction process as well. It's just going to brighten things up. It's got an acidity to it that we're going to really look for. So again, garlic, cranberry cider, and agave, and a little balsamic. Okay, we're going to reduce that down. We're going to drape it over the top as it gets to a nappe consistency, meaning you could put a spoon in it and draw a line on your finger and you could still see where the line is. Okay, so they're going to reduce this down almost, not to sec, but you'll see. Let's do it together. Cool, so we've been going for about 10 minutes. We're getting some good reduction here in our glaze. I'm going to put some fresh thyme in, and instead of picking it, I can't be bothered to pick thyme. I'm going to give it a little positive pressure and then shake, shake, shake. And look at all of that good thyme we got in. We're going to take this beautiful bone-on pork loin off and let it rest. Lots of cool things are happening here. Carryover cooking is occurring. We're letting the meat rest. It's relaxing. We've got a couple different options of how we can cut this when we decide to slice into it. Starting to get larger bubbles around the outside, and it just looks like a caramelized kind of bubble. Does that make sense? And it's getting bigger and bigger, so I've got to be ready to take that off. Don't turn your back on these sauces, these reduction sauces. I can't tell you how many times in the professional kitchen I burn a reduction for a beurre blanc or something. You got to babysit it. You got to hang out with it. It'll start caramelizing around the edges. And remember, the residual heat from the pan is going to stick with it for a while too. So perhaps at this point, when I can see we're getting nice and low here, we'll go ahead and kick it over to the indirect side to keep it warm, but keep it reducing at a lower rate. I'm starting to smell that agave. You smell that, Nate?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's get it off. To do a single chop, kind of come through here. The chine bone is removed, which is where the spinal region would be. So we just have these beautiful riblets and then meat. So you want to cut in between the bone and guide the tip of your knife through the 2 bones, and then we're going to slice down. Woo! I can tell by the way the knife is moving through the meat that we're going to have a treat here. And I'm making sure to cut straight down because I don't want a sharp angle. I can't tell you how many restaurants I've been to and the bones are an equal distance and then the meat comes at a sharp angle, either wider or more narrow. It's just not a good look. Absolutely gorgeous. So it's nice and reduced right now. I'm gonna roll that candied exterior that we've already built in there just to give that beautiful glaze. This is a finishing sauce. Okay, I know we talked about drizzling it. I changed my mind. All right, watch this. And if it begins to get a little over reduced, I can tell it's not. Dude, we could mount a freaking knob of butter in there right now, and that'd be. I gotta go get a knob butter. I gotta get a butter. Look at the size of this butter. Okay, here we go. We're gonna mount our butter in there. Oh, come on, chef, give him the butter. Yeah, good. Using our tongs, we're just gonna mount that in. This just went from extra to extraordinary. I'm rethinking our plate presentation. I don't know. I mean, I said we weren't going to do it like this, but let's just see what it looks like together. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Just a little piece of charcoal here, just to kind of tilt everything to the front. That way it's easier for me to
that's a sweet trick.
Do that. Yeah, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, you know? A little dipperoo there. You know, part of cooking and part of what I enjoy about it and why they call it culinary arts is because it is so subjective. It's constantly changing. It's the human element. You know, what do you see? What do you want to do? How do you want to change this up? How are we going to make it better? What was better last time? I'm going to tell you right now, nothing was better last time. This is it. This is it. So constant innovation. What if we took it right now with the glaze on it and then seared that glaze in? I don't know. This video might never end. We're just gonna keep on making it better and better and better. And don't worry, once this video is edited, I'll watch it and then we'll write the recipe. That's how that process works. I swear it is. Get some of that. I'm so glad we put the butter in there. It just puts a sheen on it. I mean, it's a straight up cranberry agave gravy right now. I mean, we're just adding to it. So what? We just created the most incredible pork chop ever. Dude, let's add one more thing to it. How about a little flambe action?
With what?
Freaking whiskey. What else, bro? All right, we're done. We're done.
Are you sure?
We gotta stop. I'm not gonna be able to write this recipe. Okay, so watch as I flip over here. You're gonna see that nice sizzle.
Beauty.
Oh, what have we done? Yeah, so, you know, this is full hands-on cooking, okay? I hope you didn't mind the process, and I hope you enjoyed being inside my brain for just a quick second. We're gonna let these cool off, and then we're gonna jump into them. I'm really excited. The aromas right now are just, absolutely stunning. I know my wife would look at that and she would say, sea of same. And let me tell you, as a chef, and when we're looking at this, it's very dark, it's very brown. All right, the wind's blowing now, so playing the wind. And that'll make it pop a little bit, okay? You could pass these around the party like freaking candied apples, you know what I mean? That's a lollipop right there for a party, I don't know. Let's let this rest. I just need to take a break for a second because my mind is spinning. I got no idea what's coming out of my mouth. I gotta go. We're gonna give me 2 minutes and then we're gonna bite into that one right there. Holy cow! Oh my god.
Is it that time?
Yeah, it's so. I mean, it's still screaming hot, but I can't not do this. And that rib meat right there, I think that's gonna be the first bite. That caramelization, the sweetness, that beautiful, beautiful intermuscular fat on that pork is just melted. The collagen has turned to gelatin there. Oh, I can't wait to I'm gonna see how it's more caramelized down here at the bottom. That's totally my bite right there. Here we go. Dude. I don't know what the name of this video is gonna be, but this is the ultimate pork chop.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
I think that's the name.
The whole thing tastes like a rib. If you enjoyed this video as much as I had fun making it for you, do me a favor, subscribe, comment, hit the like button, and from our backyard to yours team, happy grilling. Cheers for hanging out.